Ever since rap exploded in the 1980s, rappers have been flexing. In short, flexing is showing off. Rappers will flex in different ways. Some will flex in their lyrics, and others flex in real life and on social media by showing off the fruits of their labor. So stay tuned and don't go away because we're revealing the rappers who flex the most. First up, what do A$AP Rocky and J. Cole have in common? They love to flex. A$AP Rocky is known as one of the cockiest rappers alive, and in his track LPFJ2, he spits the infamous line, "I'm a lord motherfucker. Better greet him if you see him." Rocky has never been modest or humble, and he's consistently changed his sound and flow, which is something fans always love to see. The amazing thing about A$AP Rocky is that he's able to switch things up without compromising his artistic integrity and the cocky attitude that made him so famous and successful. The album At Long Last A$AP is largely considered to be his best work, and the song this infamous line is from, LPFJ2, is arguably the most confident song in his repertoire. The bass in the track drops and booms hard, and the goal of the song is to get your attention. Without a doubt, A$AP Rocky is the Harlem rapper who flexes the most. Now let's talk about J. Cole. Apparently J. Cole's neighbors think he's some big time drug dealer because in one of his flex tracks, he drops the line, "I guess the neighbors think I'm selling dope. I am." When J. Cole was making the album, he lived in a wealthy, predominantly white community, not accustomed to rappers. When he and his collaborators showed up in high-end cars smoking ganja and making noise into the early morning, his neighbors couldn't help but call the cops. A SWAT team kicked in J. Cole's door and raided his home. To be clear though, J. Cole does not sell drugs and is strictly about the music. Next up, if you're a real-life drug dealer, should you be rapping about selling drugs? Well, maybe not, but that's exactly what Pusha T decided to do. In one of his biggest flex tracks, Pusha T spits the line, "The only rapper who sold more dope than me is Eazy-E." In fact, Pusha T's entire discography is essentially about him bragging about his fledgling cocaine business. Maybe not the smartest thing to do because you never know if the DEA or FBI is listening, and chances are they are. NWA member Eazy-E is a legend in the rap world, and everybody knows that back in the day, Eazy-E was a real G who lived and breathed the gang life and slugged a lot of dope on the streets of LA. Many rap fans and rap aficionados suspect that the three biggest cocaine dealers turned rappers, Pusha T, Eazy-E, and believe it or not, Jay-Z. And did you notice how they all have a single letter at the end of their rap names? Coincidence? I think not. Moving on now to a white boy rapper that loves to flex, and no, it's not Eminem. I'm talking about Logic. In one of his flex tracks, Logic spits, "I just updated my old deal. I told Def Jam no less than 20 mil, and they cut that." As far as rap flex lyrics go, you've got to admit that isn't bad of a line in and of itself. I've heard a lot worse, but after listening to Logic's two previous albums, it's hard to imagine why on earth Def Jam would ever pay $20 million for something so obviously mediocre. Logic should probably take a break to reinvent himself and do what Dr. Dre did and get his ass back in the lab with the pen and a pad. Yes, I know, that was a pretty dope way of referencing Dr. Dre's 2001 Chronic album. Up next, who's one of rap's kings of flexing? Give it up for Rick Ross. Rick Ross is a straight up baller. He knows it, and he wants you to know it too. In one of his flex tracks, Ross spits fire and says, "All I wanted was 100 million and a bad Now I want 200 and a menage in my palace." And if you've seen Rick Ross's house, you know he ain't lying. It's a palace fit for a king, and is even reminiscent of Tony Montana's Scarface mansion. And knowing Ross, that's probably why he bought it. It's the biggest crib in the state of Georgia, and is so big you can see it via Google Earth. Ross does have hundreds of millions of dollars. He owns a fast food restaurant, a record label, a champagne brand, and has a few other businesses. Ross's talent is being able to say stupid things, but in a way that makes them sound really cool. And as for Nicki Minaj, well, we don't know if she's ever stayed at Ross's palace before. Moving on now to a rapper that has a god complex like no other. Kanye West is famous for rapping the line, "I am a god, so hurry up with my damn message." And there isn't a doubt in anyone's mind that he really thinks he is a god. And considering the types of things that some people are willing and able to believe, some folks might even think it's true. I, for one, though, am not one of those people. If there is a god, there's no way it's Ye. There's no denying the fact that Ye is an amazing rapper, but man, is he ever gassed up. Stay tuned and don't go away because we're revealing all the rappers that flex the most. Next up, are there any other rappers with god complexes? You bet. Self-professed superstar rapper and coke dealer Pusha T also thinks he's God. In one of his tracks, Pusha T raps, "I believe there's a God above me. I'm just the God of everything else." It's astonishing how many famous rappers associate themselves with God. Even Eminem has a rap track called Rap God. However, that has more to do with him him referring to himself as the god of rap and not a god in the biblical sense. The line in Pusha T's godlike rap sign appears to suggest that he thinks he's the god of rap. And who could forget that time that Pusha T released a diss track that pretty much shut Drake up forever? I know I can't. And the late rapper Mac Miller's famous line, "I did it all without a J feature," was an awesome line that really shows Miller flexing his stature as a rapper. From a 1.0 Pitchfork score to Grammy-nominated artist, Miller deserves his spot among the rappers that flex the most. And not only did he have the first #1 independent album of the last 30 years, but he also played piano, bass, drums, guitar, sang, rapped, and produced his own music. Miller inspired legendary artists to hone their craft and try to make it in the rap game. Unlike other rappers, Miller was a humble guy, and the track Here We Go is a triumphant anthem that celebrates his success during a challenging time in his life, dealing with mental health and substance abuse issues. Rest in peace, Mac. Up next are Kendrick Lamar and Jay-Z, two of the rappers that flex the most. You're about to find out. Whether you know it or not, Kendrick Lamar is an important part of rap industry. Why? Because he's the first Pulitzer Prize winning rapper, and the first rapper to make his way onto the presidential playlist, and the first rapper with an album cover taken at the White House. Some have called him this generation's Tupac, and hopefully he doesn't meet the same violent end. To Pimp a Butterfly was a huge album, and Kendrick giving a shout out to the first black president in a song about black empowerment was a special moment for black America. What Kendrick did was bring some class to rap and intellectualized it. Moving on now to Jay-Z and the famous line, "No such thing as an ugly billionaire, I'm cute." Off all the lyrical flexes we've looked at today, this one takes the cake. Jay-Z is rap's first billionaire and the most confident person ever. He gets the crown. But not everyone thinks Jay-Z is cute. Some people have joked that he looks like Mr. Potato Head. Famous rapper Nas said some less than flattering things about Jay-Z's look. But would you care about what Nas said if you were married to Beyonce? I didn't think so. Jay has enough money, success, and clout to literally be able to spit whatever he wants, no matter how stupid, and his fans will love it and gobble it up. Finally, who's the rapper that flexes the most bling? When it comes to bling, no one flexes high-end jewelry like Rick Ross. When you're a famous rapper with a big belly and boobs, you need the biggest pieces of bling to flaunt your success. Ross is known as someone who surprises and astonishes the public with his larger-than-life baller lifestyle. He's even got his own pendant of himself. He reportedly spent $1.5 million on this one piece of bling, and the famous piece of bling screams of the kind of self-love that's rarely seen by other rappers. Clearly, Ross's bling says it all. It says he thinks on a different level than any other rapper in the game. And that's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for watching.